It doesn't happen often, but it does happen where a client, a buyer or a seller, doesn't necessarily agree with our recommendations or our advice. It is unfortunate, but I try to make sure that I convey to the client that my experience is not just my experience, it's my agents that I manage as well. But I've closed over 500 transactions for over $100 million in the last 15 years. And that has to say something. It has to speak to something. And so it can be difficult because hopefully the more I educate the client, the more they will come around to hopefully taking the advice or the recommendation that we're making. But I will say this, that if it is a situation that a client doesn't take the advice, then we as real estate professionals really have to sit down and look, well, is it a situation that we could be getting into, let's say, a listing agreement with this particular seller, and the seller hasn't taken our advice and has continued or decided to price the property, let's say $30,000 over where we believe the property should be listed. Well, at that point in time, we really have to take a long, hard look to see, is this going to be, or does this transaction really have the opportunity to be successful? And sometimes we have to say, no, thank you. Sometimes we have to say that we won't